My name is Bishop Kenya M.Loltome, United States of Kenya Republic Presidential Aspirant come 2022, God willing, Allah. And I'm also the founder of Indonesian Church International, Kenya and worldwide. You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram because we are online. And I'm also a lecturer clergy. I've taught so many colleges in systematic theology, Christianity, and also Islamic systematic theology. I'm here in Nairobi National Government nowadays, and Mpakasi village location at this particular moment on Monday. So we are going to read the book of Daniel, that is Daniel 6:5. And we are going to see what we call conviction. The topic is about convictions. Okay? A formal declaration of no offense or no guilty person. So we are going to read Daniel 6, verse 5 there. And it reads like this. In relation to religious political philosophy, context, because we want to see also how that text help us today in 21st century AD 2021. Okay? Although it was written 605 before Christ, but it's still applicable to our lives. So the Bible reads like this in Daniel 6:5. Finally, this man, said, we will never find any basis for charges against this man Daniel unless it is something to do with the law of his God. Finally, this man said, I repeat it again, we will never find any basis for charges against this man Daniel unless it is something to do with the law of his God, Allah. Alright, we want to throw in the topic about actually conviction. Conviction means a formal declaration of someone that is not guilty in court of law and also in line or light of word of God. Daniel was not found to be guilty person. He was actually very righteous man in a foreign land called Babylon, which is now the modern Iraq nation. And this book was written 605 and 5, okay, BC, before Christ, which is about 26,600 to 20 and 5, okay, years ago, 2,625 years ago. And the name Daniel means actually, God is my judge. This man was accused by, he went there together with his 3 other colleagues, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, taken captives from Judah, Israel, young man, very handsome man, very wise. During that time, the Middle East, which we are seeing now, the war stopped anyway. The other day, that is Palestinians and Arab Sophias, the sons of Ismail, and also Isaac, the sons of, Isaac, the son of, we call it now the son of Abraham, both of them, which is Judaism. Israel's nation, most of them are Judaism. They don't believe in Jesus Christ. The sons of Abraham don't believe in Jesus Christ as God. No. They are Judaism, we call them Pharisees in the Bible, and they are the one who have even crucified Jesus Christ. Judaism, Pharisees, together with the Roman Empire, monarchy, the rule of that time, and Arabs also, which are, genealogy of, the second son of, Abraham or Ishmael. They don't believe in Jesus Christ as God. It's only Christians who do believe in Jesus died. Otherwise, both of them they consider as the son of Yusuf, Joseph, and Mary, Miriam, in other language. So that is the nature of that time, and even today, Israel don't believe Jesus Christ as their God. No. Okay, most of them, actually, majority, they don't honor Jesus Christ as God. And also Arabs, the son of Abraham generally, the son of Agar, Isaac, and the son of Agar, Agar, which is Ismail, and Sarah, the son of her son was called Isaac. So these two, the family of Abraham don't believe in Jesus at all as God. And they are now fighting, although now they have come to their senses, common sense, they have stopped, they are fighting because they are the son of the same man called Abraham. So, and they are just living in the, that is Palestinian and also Israel. It's the same land of Abraham. So, they are the sons of the same man. They don't believe in Jesus, both of them. And they are fighting seriously at times, but now they don't actually continue fighting. They have known their brothers and they don't want to continue killing themselves. So that other people from other nations, no, they have stopped. And it's being brokered, the peace was brokered by, Egypt, which is also, an Arab country. So what I want to say, men actually found these people who are captives in Judah, in Babylon, who have been taken from Judah, during that time when Arabs are fighting Israel, Palestine and Israel, whenever each group defeated each other, they normally take the best of the best human beings, animals, and things of that nature, and land as well. And Jerusalem, they have been fighting around that area, Jerusalem, that area, which was actually considered as Abraham's main place until his death. So what happened here? These young men, including Daniel and Meshach and Benego and Shadrach and Meshach, they are taken there and they are found to be wise men. So Daniel was the best of the best, and they refused to honor actually the food sacrificed to idols, and they are accused by the magician of that time, of that country called Iraq. They have been actually believing in sorcery, there's modern Babylonian Iran people. They believe sorcery, witchcraft, magicians. So before they eat the food, they have to do some kind of rituals, using the worship of idols. And so they refused, particularly Daniel was reported. They have refused even food, and later on also to worship God. And Daniel was found to be the one which is more targeted. And so, because this man was a man of conviction, he was believing in God of Israel, the real God, Allah, obvious, the only God on earth. He was actually accused that let us actually confuse the head of state of that country, Iraq, by then Babylon, to inform him that this man is not actually honoring your God. That's why they have now told him to do some kind of mischievous idol worship, whereby the whole human beings are to worship, and he refused. So they said, now you see this man is bad, and that's why now it was actually later on found that this man was never found guilty, although they have also tried to say that he was wrong. He was not an obedient man to the stats, and that's why he ended up being thrown to the den of lions in that place, and God rescued him. So what I want to say here, the Hebrew language of that time, the name also of that man also changed, called Daniel. He was called Belshazzar. Okay? A name carries some power. A title carries some power, status. Any name carries some titles. Like now, what we have noticed in Kiambu, we normally know that Mount Kenya federal states, 9 of them, all Kikuyu federal states, Nairobi, Kiambu, Murang'a, Laikipia, Nakuru, Nyeri, name them, Nyandarua and Laikipia, also Tharaka-Nithi and Meru, call them actually. They are normally referred as 11 of them nowadays, because even Meru and Tharaka-Nithi now are in that block, Mount Kenya block. It is a country, the Central Republic of Kenya, whose president is actually the head of state of Kenya Republic, is President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. We are shocked the other day when actually another person came and took over. He wanted to take over from the president, because he's normally considered as the head of Central Republic of Kenya. 11 federal states, Nairobi, Kiambu, Murang'a, Nakuru, Nyandarua, Laikipia, you know, name them, you know, Nyeri, yeah, and the Tarakaniti Meru, 11. The Speaker of National Assembly, Honorable Justin Muturi, went and convinced elders of Kikuyus and say, I am the one who is actually head. He is the President of the Central Republic of Kenya, which is not. You know, that is, what am I saying? A name has power. We normally regard President Uhuru Kenyatta, even though he's the president of all federal states, for 7 federal states, 290 constituencies, and 1,450 wards assemblies. Yeah? Plus his own homeland yard, 11 federal states called Central Republic of Kenya, Kikuyus and Meru, Tupu, predominantly, Tangre, and also Luo, 4 federal states of chief opposition leader. We normally refer them as Kisumu, you know, Migori, Siaya, and Homa Bay. There are also another nation called People's Republic of Kenya, of Raila, His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga. We normally have these 2 nations, which I have emerged in Kenya. Now Justin Muturi wants to take over from Uhuru Kenyatta, the part of which is at the 11 federal states. That I am now the elder of, you know, of all Kikuyus. I am an elder. You know, when you call yourself you are an elder, it means in African tradition you are the president of that area. So, what do I want to say? Uhuru Kenyatta, all of Kenyans have found that he has no basis to be accused for anything, like Daniel. He's sinless. And that's why we have elected him to be the president of Kenya Republic. So the rest of us who are not, you know, Kikuyus, because I'm a Maasai Samburu tribe from Marsabit County government, near the border of Kenya and Ethiopia, Somalia, that end actually, we call it actually, you know, upper country. You know, whenever we come to Nairobi, we say we are going to down country, up country, that part of Kenya, near the border of Kenya and Ethiopia and Somalia. Or sometimes they refer as Mukundu ya Kenya, the bottom part of Kenya. And some of them say the upper part. But in development, we are Mukundu ya Kenya, the bottom part of Kenya Republic. Of which, if I will be elected the president of the 50th president of the United States of Kenya Republic, I, Bishop M.Loltome, it will be the top. And my vice president, I said this severally, if I will win, God willing, of which I will, it will be His Excellency Adan Barreduhai. And my powerful Prime Minister, I will retain Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the incumbent head of state, to be the powerful Prime Minister, continuously for another period of time, with the 2 of his, you know, 5 deputy Prime Ministers of his choice. And even Vision 2030, which is 32 or earlier, I said separately, and nobody has objected. United States of America, the great nation on earth, retired president, the son of Kenya, Olego there, Kogelo, His Excellency Barack Hussein Obama. He will succeed me, and nobody has said no. Every Kenyan say okay. So actually, Daniel was found to be a man of, you know, of no any charges to be accused as a wrong man. We call it a man of conviction. He was declared not guilty in a law court of Iraq that time, modern Iraq now. Because of what? Even though he was accused, finally, this man said, we will never find any basis for charges against this man, Daniel, unless it is found to do with his through the law of his God. Now, if you want to accuse somebody who is righteous, you are fighting God. Obvious. 100% you are fighting God. Whoever now is fighting me. I am a spiritual leader, M.Loltome. You are fighting God. You know? You can say anything about whatever you want to say about me. Yeah? So anything. Or somebody who is not guilty, like now, you know, head of state, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. You can say anything. You can even go and say that you are, you know, you are the president of, Kikuyus only, like what the speaker of, Kenya said the other day. He went and get some few Kikuyus elders and said, let's throw away. The president is not our leader, and I am now the one who is going to take over. That is actually a wrong kind of, declaration. He could have waited actually for the president to continue being the head of state and also the head of his own people, the Kikuyus, which of course has actually brought them to a very high level in all annual developments, more than any other part of the country. You will not get any Kikuyu which actually living in those ends, unless those one who are displaced now in post-election of 2007 to 2008, being in Nairobi here, eating in some dump site food, not that they are poor originally, but they have been displaced in those two post-election violence of 2007 to 2008 and 2017 controversial elections. They have left even, the flats, story buildings in some part of the country, Rift Valley, was engaged, called them all 47 federal states. They have been fleeing to Nairobi because of post-election violence. And now they are left with nothing. They are now like just any other human beings who are very poor. So, initially, these people have been actually very rich. So Kikuyus are not, they are not people which we can consider them as poor. The characteristic of Daniel was a self-controlled man. That's why he was actually found to be not also guilty. Ability to control oneself. Even though he was accused, he was just able to control himself. If you read Daniel 1:8 and 10, chapter 10, verse 3, you will see he has an ability of self-control. Like Uhuru Kenyatta. His Excellency Daniel also, he was also the president in Dan.6, 4. Even later on, Daniel ended up being the president of Iraq. One of the presidents of Iraq. We call them satraps during that time. From actually slavery to God can uplift you to be the president. I am now from pastoralists, very poor families, in pastoral tribe initially. And even now we have a few things. God can elevate me to be the president, can elevate me to be the president of United States of Kenya Republic. I'm 22. And nobody has objected. I'm in Jubilee Reformation Movement. No one even is there. I'm the only one. That's why even the deputy president has left Jubilee and go and start another infamous party called UDA because of fear. I am DNA, the National Alliance Party president. Bishop Kenya lecturer clergy professor in theology. Come 2022, and I'm told by Kenyans I will defeat these politicians very early in the morning, around 9 a.m. or even earlier, 10 a.m. They will see that I have actually defeated them. Come 2022, God willing, Allah. So this man was a self-controlled man. He has an ability to control oneself, like Uhuru Kenyatta. People used to insult him. Like some of them even want to take over, the government, like the deputy president. He doesn't listen to him. He's working more against him. Like what Satan have done to God, eventually was thrown to earth. In Ezekiel, read Ezekiel, the whole of chapter 28, or even Isaiah 14, 12 and the following. He is just a very, very self-controlled man. And he has a power to, to embrace these people and put them to jail. But he is not doing that. His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta is a very humble man, very, very, very polite man, very polite leader and very good leader. His government is the best of the best among the other three previous governments of Kenya Republic. So he also courageous. Daniel is so courageous and he had an ability of doing things that frighten human beings. In Daniel 9:22 to 23, 9:22 to 23, Daniel 9, chapter 9, 22 to 23 verses. Uhuru Kenyatta during ICC, Criminal International Court in Netherlands, just left taking himself there. He was not actually forced to go there. He used to go and even told his deputy, take over, if I will be hanged there. Okay? Humbly, he went there and God released them all and favored them from, that death, kind of, that death of hanging, So, Uhuru Kenyatta is also a very courageous man. His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta. He used even to laugh when he was just aboarding the plane, and you are heading to death if you are accused, if you are found guilty. So even Daniel, when he was thrown to the den of lions, when he was told, to not to pray God, he was not obeying any other human being except God. So he had an ability of doing things frightening to other people. Here is the person who is thrown to the den of lion and is laughing. Here is the person who is taken to Hague and is laughing about the plane, he's not crying. I've never seen Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta shedding tears, crying like a small kid, like any other politicians. No! Neither this Jubilee, most of this Jubilee, politicians. I've never seen them being poured water and they are running like, opposition leader like His Excellency Jaramogi Odinga and the other group of Mudavadi, Watangula, son of Moi and, Kalonzo Musyoka. They have been just, running from water boosters, police water boosters, and they have been sitting around, that, roundabout of Times Tower, Central Business District in Nairobi, because of just fearing water. Suppose these people are taken to Hague. Even though you are accused, they will die even before reaching there. So actually, we want courageous leaders who can face, situations until the end, and God can deliver you at times, or He may not also at times, because physical security is not actually guaranteed by God all the time, but the spiritual one He can guarantee you. So prayerfully, this man was a prayerful man. A man who was praying frequently in Daniel 2:17 and 18:1 and 6:10, facing Jerusalem, the capital city now of Israel. And he was a man of integrity. He was having an ability of being very honest, like in Dan.6:4, and that's why he became the president. What do I want to say finally? Let the Kikuyus not be bewitched. I said it in Galatians the other day, Galatians 3. Let them not be bewitched to belittle the president party, that is Jubilee Reformation Movement, TNA, the one which is now ruling the republic. Neither do they also belittle the president by having another leader along him that he calling himself, a better leader than Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Unless Kikuyus are, are bewitched by whatever, we don't know who are bewitched them. In Galatians chapter 3, verse 1. Like Galatians also of that time. They have to respect the president. And they must also respect what the president is saying. If he tells them, let have Michael Loltome to be the president who is going to inherit me, let them also listen to the president. Or any other way he is going to instruct them to do things. And not only them, but all of us, we have to respect the government of the Republic of Kenya until, the term of the president expires. That's what the Bible says in Romans 13, verse 1 to 7. So remember May 22 and go to Facebook, check this government called Jubilee Reformation Movement. Here are the 4 leaders I have mentioned already. I being the president, vice president is there, His Excellency Aden Paredwan, power prime minister with his 2 vice prime ministers, His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and the Vision 20, also that I said the 4th one there is actually United States of America, great nation on earth, retired president His Excellency Barack Hussein Obama. So remember May 22, all Kenyans, to be your 50th president, God willing. May God bless you, all human beings on this planet Earth.